It is D-Day in Delhi, the day Delhi has voted in a critical election, a high-stakes election in which the BJP has pulled no punches in trying to halt Arvind Kejriwal, who still remains the favorite to take back Delhi for a third time. If Arvind Kejriwal is able to be chief minister again, it's because he's run what many people believe is a smart and deft campaign, a campaign that is different from how most non-BJP leaders take on Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. Let's look at some of the things that Arvind Kejriwal has in fact done differently. The 5 reasons that Arvind Kejriwal could defeat or halt the Modi-Shah juggernaut in the national capital. The first, of course, is what Arvind Kejriwal calls Kaam Ki Rajnathi. Back in the day, there used to be what was called the Pyaz elections in Delhi. Onion prices could make or break political careers in the national capital. This, in many ways, is a Bijli ka Chunav. The one thing that the people on the street have spoken about more than anything else is the slashed and in some cases the free electricity rates. By hunkering down, by mellowing down, by not being anymore the self-proclaimed anarchist, by literally letting his work speak for himself, Arvind Kejriwal in many ways is seeking a vote on his governance record and on his welfare economics. Without this, the other factors that are giving Arvind Kejriwal the upper hand would not have worked at all. But there is a second, very interesting, very different hatke attitude of Arvind Kejriwal to Narendra Modi. In fact, Arvind Kejriwal's second smart move is to not make the Prime Minister an issue at all. You would have noticed that in other state elections and other politicians like the Gandhis, for example, are constantly targeting Narendra Modi in the most visceral language. But Arvind Kejriwal, when asked by me to describe his relationship with Narendra Modi, actually called it excellent. Now, this may surprise you, given the nature of how the campaign has been, given the fact that the BJP has called Arvind Kejriwal a terrorist, no less. But the point is that Arvind Kejriwal has understood that the more you target Narendra Modi personally, the stronger he gets. Which is why we even saw Kejriwal doing this video message, an appeal to Modi voters to come out and vote for him, even if they voted for the BJP in the last Lok Sabha election. So that has been another very different approach by Arvind Kejriwal in these elections. The third deft move by Arvind Kejriwal has been to entirely sidestep the Shaheen Bagh protests. The Delhi Chief Minister did not visit the protest site. Forget that, even though his deputy Manish Sisodia expressed some solidarity for the protesters there who've been sitting on a vigil, women-led vigil against the citizenship legislation, Arvind Kejriwal disassociated and disowned the protests. When I pushed him on the Shaheen Bagh question, he reiterated his position that the Delhi police is not under him and neither is he responsible for the legislation or changing the legislation. So he said he had no locus standi to be there. And then he took it a step further and said if the police were under him, he would have ensured that the protests that have blocked an arterial road in the national capital would have been halted and the road would have been opened. At a time when the BJP has sought to make the Shaheen Bagh issue an epicenter, a political epicenter of this campaign, and to take away, therefore, from the governance record of Kejriwal, Kejriwal has sidestepped and disowned in a tactical move the Shaheen Bagh protests, realizing perhaps that the BJP was using it for subliminal Hindu versus Muslim messaging and also so-called nationalist versus anti-nationalist messaging. Now, the other interesting thing you would have noticed is Arvind Kejriwal reciting the Hanuman Chalisa. This was, of course, no coincidence. Within 72 hours of that moment where the Delhi Chief Minister wore his Hinduism on his sleeve, you saw a spate of Aam Aadmi Party leaders, in fact, each one of their candidates, making sure that in their constituencies, they were spotted at the local mandir or they were photographed doing a yagna or a puja. And you would have seen that, Arvind Kejriwal then paid a visit to a Hanuman temple in the heart of the capital. There is a reason for this. The reason for this is a thought in the strategists of the Kejriwal campaign, the campaign, of course, being overseen by Prashant Kishore and his team, a thought that the BJP should not be able to use the label anti-Hindu for the Kejriwal campaign. One person who works closely on the campaign told me that this was to empower the Aam Aadmi Party worker or the volunteer who may go out and may be confronted with this label. And then he or she can simply point to all of these images, the Hanuman Chalisa recital, the pujas, the yagnas, the high-octane mandir visits, to say, look, BJP, you do not own the Hinduism space. The fifth reason that Kejriwal may yet trump the Modi-Shah machinery is because Arvind Kejriwal has not surrendered the nationalism space. At a time when the BJP maligns all of its political opponents as anti-nationals, you will see Arvind Kejriwal positioning himself as a hardcore nationalist. In fact, he described himself as a Kattar Deshbhakt in an interview to me, and he reminded viewers that his Andolan against corruption was born with the slogan of Bharat Mata Ki Jai. There have been other telltale signs of this refusal to cede the nationalism space to the BJP as well. Prime among them has been, for example, Arvind Kejriwal's support for the abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. In many ways, Arvind Kejriwal, while focusing on Bijli Sadak Pani, has also made sure that the religious polarization attempts or the rhetorical polarization attempts by the BJP do not work by refusing to A, give up Hinduism, and B, give up nationalism. If Arvind Kejriwal does take Delhi back, these are the 5 reasons that made his campaign different from other non-BJP opposition leaders.